Hey all, here at OS Reviews. Today we're taking a closer look at the ZMI Purpods Pro. These are active noise cancelling TWS wireless buds, which sell for under $100, and they're just a more upgraded, more deluxe version of the regular Purpods that we also checked out recently as well. I thought that these were an excellent value and had pretty good audio quality, as well as an interesting companion app. So the Pro version, again, adds active noise cancellation, plus these also support Qi wireless charging, so if you want to wirelessly pop these onto a charging mat, it can top up the battery as well. Other elements, though, of the design are pretty similar and also supports functions like connecting to the companion application, which allows you to adjust things like a adaptive volume mode, which is unique to ZMI's wireless buds at the moment. So that means if your surrounding is loud, it uses the microphones to detect that, and it will intelligently raise the volume of the music automatically. And if you're in a quieter space, it will also try to turn the volume lower. The battery life is also the same as the regular Purpods, lasting up to 10 hours per charge for the buds, and then with the battery case combined, you get a total of roughly 30 hours when on the road. Again, they have dual drivers built on in, so it supposedly will pack in more detailed sound. If you're unfamiliar with this brand, ZMI, they are a subsidiary of Xiaomi, which is one of the largest manufacturers of consumer tech based out of China. They make lots of smartphones, smart appliances, and other packaging contents include a USB Type-C charging cable if you don't want to use wireless charging, and also a set of adjustable silicone tips to get a more snug fit, along with some quick start guide. Now, one other interesting thing about the Purepod Pros is you can also pick up a few custom silicone cases. Adds a more cute and customizable touch to these buds, since they otherwise have a very traditional polycarbonate plastic look. So you can find a version that is in pink. There's also another one in gray as well as in blue, and it both protects the casing by snapping into place outside of it, and also adds a very kind of cute character design, almost kind of anime or cartoon inspired. These bumpers acting as the ears, and when you open up the casing, it almost resembles the mouth of the creature here opening and closing. It's pretty easy to snap on these little silicone accessories, and they are just attached using friction. Otherwise, they will again fit in quite well. Now, it really sets it apart from other models on the market. And if you're curious, this is what the gray edition looks like. All of the characters have the same design though in terms of the eyes of the creature, so there isn't really a huge change between them. They're not really collectible, it's just changing the color of the casing. Finally, the pink edition here again looks very cute and clean, and still has all the cutouts for the various ports without any issues. Taking a closer look at the design of just the Purepod Pro casing for a moment, it is again super similar to the regular Purepods, which have almost identical dimensions and feeling as well as construction, although the Pro version is a touch fancier in certain elements, like the button here now integrated underneath the ZMI logo versus being above it, as you can see there, which is a little bit cheaper to manufacture. And the Type-C port for charging also has a metal rail that can make it a bit more resistant to wear and tear, versus on this one it has just a plastic covering up the port. So there's a bit more of attention to detail since you are paying a bit more as well, but the overall shape is the same, constructed again out of polycarbonate plastic, a little reminiscent of, say, the Apple AirPods, although they are a touch larger, but not by too much. They're still very compact, easy to fit into pockets and travel with. And the hinge here on the back is also, like the AirPods, made out of this metal material for durability versus a plastic hinge on the regular edition of the Purepods. Once again, the door here can open up pretty easily, and once they pop open, they will begin to almost instantly connect to your device. You can see that by the LED light will also flash here, so it uses Bluetooth version 5.2, which is the latest, and connection is just super fast and seamless. The door here is held into place using magnets, and overall it's quite easy to flip open and also to remove the buds, which are once again held into place magnetically, so they won't really fall out by accident, and then they can also be quite easily popped back in for quick charging. About 5 minutes of charging time will get you upwards of an hour of listening for the buds. So here's a closer look at the ZMI Here app in terms of what it can control for these Pro edition of the Purepods. We can again see the battery percentage remaining on the left and the right sides, as well as within the battery case itself, and you can also toggle certain functions on or off yourself, including the active noise cancellation. There is a ambient mode, which is transparency audio. Basically, it will magnify the noises around you, allowing you to hear without even removing the buds from your ear. And there's also a dedicated wind noise cancellation mode that is a sub-variant of regular ANC that will only cancel out wind sounds if you are in an outdoor, really windy environment, for example. It's pretty thoughtful and does make a slight difference if you are trying them out. Otherwise, in terms of the equalizer functions, there isn't quite as much modes as on the regular PurePods, which had a few more options, although none of them have custom EQs that you can remap yourself. They're all presets, although there is a bass heavy mode and there's also a balanced or regular sound profile mode, and does also make a slight difference to the sound that you're listening to. Finally, you can turn on or off the adaptive volume control, which again will turn up the volume if you're in a louder space versus turn it down if you're in a more quiet area. And there's also in-ear detection, just like before. There are proximity light sensors that will know if you are wearing these or not, and so if you're wearing them, the audio will play. When you pop them out, the music will automatically pause as well, which is neat. Under shortcuts, you're able to remap what the touch controls will do, so that includes double tapping as well as long pressing. So currently, long pressing will go through the different ANC functions. You can turn certain modes on or off if you don't commonly use them, and for double tapping, you can also change what it does, whether it's opening up the assistant, play, pause, skip track, or also entering a gaming mode. That is a low latency mode. There's also the ability to change the volume higher or lower as well if you commonly use that function. One thing I will say though is I do wish they can add maybe a third command, such as triple tapping or tapping once to do something else, since right now you are limited by really only one control that you can change. You can also find your device if you've lost it while you are connected using Bluetooth, so you still have to be relatively close between your phone and the device, but maybe the buds have fallen underneath a couch and you can't find it. You're able to tap on this mode and it will play back a sound and it will start to ring and you'll be able to find it if it's close by. Another thoughtful software function. Taking a closer look at the design of the buds, once again, they kind of resemble the AirPods in the sense that they have the stem, but it also means the microphone is pointing closer to your mouth, which helps improve the call quality when you're talking into it, and they felt quite lightweight and secure. Even if I was shaking my head or jogging around, they didn't feel loose like they were about to fall out or anything like that. Here's a quick size comparison with the regular AirPods, which do still have a slightly longer stem, but not by too much. The overall weight, though, of both of these buds are quite similar. Moving into the audio quality and performance next, this is something I'm actually quite impressed about when it comes to the sound of the PurePod Pros. First of all, they do actually sound slightly better than the regular PurePods, which I am surprised, since they both are using dual drivers, and I thought they would be identical in the parts, but I guess not. These do actually have a touch more bass to them, so they're a bit more dynamic and lively sounding. If you're listening to an EDM soundtrack or a drum beat, it really hits, but at the same time it feels controlled, never really disrupts the mids or trebles. However, it is very satisfying when you're listening to lower end frequencies and sounds. Sometimes feels like you're listening to music using larger headphones than something so tiny, which is great. They're super clean again, so no hissing, humming, or any distortion of any kind. Connectivity was also very strong. I never got disconnected from one side or my phone, even if I was walking around the room, and it works well pretty much for any genre that I tried listening to. The active noise cancellation is also definitely effective and makes a difference when you flick it on. It's one area where it might not be industry leading compared to some models by Sony and Bose. However, it still makes a difference. I would say roughly 80% of noise in the lower frequencies are repressed when you flick it on, such as the engine sounds or a fan noise in the background, and allows you to concentrate a bit more on the music. Makes a difference if you're in a car or if you're on a plane or any engine for sure. However, higher frequency sounds like people's chatter, their voices, will not be canceled out. Here's a look at the wireless charging in action. We can pop it onto the top of the charging mat, and you can see the ZMI logo here in the side here will also start to glow and flash orange until the charging is complete. Usually takes under an hour and a half, and overall the process works well. Even if there is that casing, it doesn't actually interfere with the wireless charging, which is very good. So that's more or less it as far as our hands-on review of the ZMI Purpod Pros. They really are an upgrade in most of the areas that we compare it against with the regular Purpods, whether it's the slight differences to the construction, the more functionality that you're getting here, and still is at a competitive price point that is lower than what the Apple AirPod Pros would sell for, over twice the price, in fact. So you can check out more details if you're interested in the links below. For now, that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been the ZMI Purpods Pro active noise cancelling TWS wireless buds.